Hello everyone, my name is AP the Weird One, and we are back with episode 4 of Once Upon a Witch's Death. This episode we got it's Meg, or as Esberry, as Sophia will call her, and Sophia. It's them having a bonding moment and preparing for the big giant festival. And it's kind of a dedicated episode. We kind of learn a little bit more about both of them in some respects. With Meg, we learn that, she's studying magic, but she doesn't necessarily have a clear goal. Aside from making money and wanting to live a long time, but she just practices magic because she just loves it. She's had a very young age. Sophia is a lot more darker. Now, one of the things I do want to talk about is that because it takes place in the real world, there is some real world applications. To give context, Sophia has this bluish hair and red eyes. And what this means is Sophia grew up in like a northern country, isolated from society, and so many people thought that she was a devil. And we learned that her backstory is that she's been practicing magic since the age of 5. She was very gifted, and that her town rejected her. And so at a very young age, she had to leave and go to the work of the Magic Council, and she had no one else in her, she had nothing in her life. And this is something that she conveys to Meg, stating that because I had nothing in my life, I was able to master magic. That's why I became one of the 7 sages. And so you kind of realize that. So even though that she is a loved person and everything, she feels like she's been weighted down. The reason her magic isn't good is because she's got lots of distractions in her life. And it's kind of a shame. Sophia was rejected by society. Rejected by humans, basically, and rejected by her parents. And so she was just kind of forced to study magic. And instead of being kind of like a force of evil, she does turn into a force of good. There's 2 aspects of it. If she gets rid of magic, she can, maybe be loved by her parents. That's kind of what the goal that she states to Meg. But at the same time, if she does all these miraculous things with magic, she'll acquire that attention, that love that she lost. And in some ways, Meg is trying to make up for that, stating if she becomes really friendly and try to form a familiar connection with her, then maybe she'll have a more positive outlook on, say, magic and even herself. So that she can feel loved. And it's an interesting interesting dynamic. She reminds me a lot of Shisei from I'm Married to the Girl That I Hate the Most. She has that bit of a personality. Her voice actress is fairly new, being, I think, the most notable role being the older sister in My Dress Up Darling, and then the other one about the kid who wants to kill his pretty girl, but he just can't because he falls in love with her. I forget. I didn't look too into it. I thought it was something. I thought she had been on some other roles. She's fairly brand new. The actress who plays her, just to give, Hina Yomani. Actually, hold on. Let me look up the. She was also in Madoka Punch. Okay, I actually know. I have actually familiar with her, but what was the main one I was talking about? The Dangers in My Heart. That's the one I was referring to. So yeah, at first these two were trying to get along. She's trying to spark a conversation. Doesn't really work out. And eventually, there is some sparkling talk. She makes mention why don't you have a nickname? That's a sign that you are somebody in the magic world if you have one of those. And she remarks that everybody in town calls her the Apprentice, which indicates not her own name, that she hasn't done anything special, so to speak. It kind of rubs her Meg under the skin, but she does have a little bit of a point. And she talks, and another aspect is more to the real world, is she states the reason she's able to perform high complex magical circles, especially opening the big gate, is because she understands physics and the laws of nature. It's that's it. Oh, okay, and then you can application to magic, and so kind of puts her in a downturn. But she's positive. She's gonna learn. So it's just, and the next couple days, them getting prepared for the seals and everything, and having kind of a good fun time. Her friend shows up and gets starstruck fine. She gets kind of starstruck. It was kind of a bit of funny moment. Meg tries to join in the bath with Sophie, and then she's like, "No, don't, not interested." But yeah, and we do get to see all the opening seals, and kind of right before the day, Sophie wants to make an extra big portal, so that many more people can, more visitors from both their world into their world. But Meg is a little bit warned, and in the following day there is some concerns brought about. She a dark being from the other side goes through, and what I liked about Meg in this moment is she gets flustered for just a sec, but then she's like, okay, I gotta do things. Sophie, you prepare something to dispel it. I'm gonna protect the townspeople because the townspeople don't see everything, and they manage to work. She's like, all right, you're done. When Sophia has everything activated, and good for you. Sophia actually laments that, hey, why didn't you scold me for making it? Like, why did you say that it was your fault when things went bad, or kind of blame yourself? I'm like, that's not my point. Apprentice will just get slapped on the wrist, whereas it could be more worse. That kind of sick, and Sophia kind of warms up to him, like, thank you, and it starts the beautiful friendship, being best buddies. So I assume maybe in episode 5 and on, a little bit she'll help teach her magic, but she does do a good job in protecting. Like her defensive spells aren't like the most Jenna Dudon herself not drawing them. They're not very powerful, but they do they get the job done for what is necessary. So you gotta appreciate Meg's positive outlook. She's not like, when things go down, she's her head's on her shoulders, and so she does have a bit of a leadership capabilities, which I guess we'll see a little bit more for. And I also see, like, you could see in her character, like, if someone's down, I think she tries to do her best to fix the situation. It's a very good quality, and it definitely makes Meg it makes Meg or S. Barry likable in the long run. So it's a very positive protagonist, and a good one to emulate for both men and women. But yeah, it was a kind of fun episode. I would say episode 3 was maybe a little bit more, a little bit more interesting, definitely. But this one wasn't a bad one. It was fun. With that, I'll see you guys next time. Hopefully, have a wonderful day. I'm going to continue watching this series. I think it's a lot of fun meeting the other characters, seeing the magic, and seeing her gather tears of joy. It will definitely bring excitement. And Meg is just a wonderful personality to watch and see her grow. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe. See you guys next time.